Aloha, friends and neighbors. This is Rollin Frost, Kona astrologer, and we're going to cover this last bit of November and the first week in December on program 939. Hope you enjoy it and profits you. You had a prior new moon at 0 Sag, which conjuncted Saturn, which says it's very cold, huh? Yeah, for a month after this. And then their full moon at 14 Taurus wasn't bad. But what's coming up is a full moon December 6th at 14 Gemini. Now this one makes a really close sextile, 60 degrees to Uranus. And finally we'll have some Uranus power again. Yeah, Uranus is back in the saddle. Really knocked him down, you know, that eclipse on Uranus 2 months ago. Had a terrible month. And then a month when we all giving it up. And here's the big thing. Uranus is stationing on the 21st of December. So you got a full moon that loves Uranus here. And then Uranus stops and powers out on the 21st. It's going to be fun. Of course, the thing that's happening for you right away is a week from Monday, Jupiter stops. And if you're on the Thursday night show, Jupiter, lawyer, professors, wise men. The moon is opposing Jupiter if you're on the Thursday night show on the 27th of November. So you're not liking lawyers. They take too much. Take all your stuff. Some of them are real true blues, but whoa, look out. You got to watch them. They're tricky. Well, what do we got here? Jupiter's still squaring Saturn in fixed signs. The politicians can't agree. And the sun here is moving into that trine to Uranus. Hooray, the sun's in Sag. Mercury squares Neptune the beginning of your next week. So there's a little confusion there. But let's take a look at this day by day. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern. And as the moon moves around once a month, it goes through one day here. Yeah, and it makes angles to everything. It changes sign every 2.5 days. You see the signs marked out there. If you're on the Thursday night show, you're right here. And it's interesting that the moon travels. Okay, so let me get this clear. Friday goes from here to here. So these lines are 2 a.m. in the morning. Hawaii time, midnight on the west coast. So here's the Jupiter opposition, and it looks like it's just about 2 a.m. in Hawaii, Friday morning. We're not liking lawyers, so it's real late Friday, late Thursday and early Friday morning. Now here's the Saturn line. This is happening breakfast time. The moon squaring Saturn, and we don't have enough, and we're cold, and we're old. And here's this new moon point, too, which makes us feel a little bit wobbly. This is after lunchtime on Friday the 28th. So, you know, just before lunch, the moon shifts into Pisces here, and it becomes very different. The vibes all change, huh? Instead of all the politics and the money and the Jupiter-Saturn stuff here. Now we're going to do Neptune. Hooray! Now Neptune, you know, stopped on the 16th of November. And Neptune was quite strong then, huh? So here's the moon going by it. It's dinner time, and after dinner, Friday night, the 28th, a good time for music and art and your higher heart. And this is, let go of your, you know, this is telepathic. I'm going to talk about this. Telepathy. It's a path to enlightenment. You become more telepathic. You open up your mammal mind. You can start feeling what the animals are feeling and the other people are feeling. No words. This is your limbic, a big brain underneath the cerebellum that talks in words. This one's like the same with dogs and cats and everything. This is telepathic. Your cat's staring at you. What's he doing? He's reading your telepathy brain. The more telepathy you have, the more compassionate you will have. So this goes to a religious side very easily. First path to religion always has this component of, talking to the animals. So anyway, there's your chance. It's Friday afternoon and evening. Try it out. I used to prove telepathy to my friends. I had a dog, and you could say sit to the dog with a piece of meat in your hand, a dog would look at you. And then if you said sit and you had a picture, you got to send pictures with telepathy, pictures and emotions. If you said sit and you had a picture of that dog sitting in your mind, boy, his rump hit the floor so fast. He was reading the pictures and emotions in your mind, reading your telepathy mind, not your words. And that's what this Neptune's all about. It's very important you know this, because there's a lot of Neptune characters on stage that are kind of phony because they're pretending they have all this specialness, and it's just telepathy. Oh yeah, I can talk to dead people. Oh yeah, I'm a gifted doctor or a priest that talks to angels. Or, in my business, we have folks doing astrology that are really doing Neptune touchy-feely. Oh yeah, I'll help you with your religious, enlightenment or your health. These are things Neptune excels at, and they all have a little glistening on phoniness to them because they don't know they're using telepathy. Anyway, it's a big deal Friday night, and there's confusion over it. I had a friend once, Monique Bernadette, tremendous good psychic, and I tell her, you're a telepath, not a psychic. She went to see Lon, the best so-called psychic in Honolulu, about putting in an office near her, yeah? And Lon said, no, besides you're going to die soon. What? Oh, Monique called me up. Oh, I'm going to die soon. The best psychic in Honolulu told me. I said, well, obviously you think you're going to die, huh? Silence. How did you know? I said, because your mammal mind, it's like a super intelligent German Shepherd or a Labrador Retriever in your head, thinks you're going to die. What happened? Oh, well, a doctor told me I had a lump in my tummy the size of a baseball and blah, blah. I look at her chart, and there's a lunacy on the moon. I said, it's probably only going to last a month, and it did. Well, what was the problem here? Both these two psychics thought they had special powers, and they believed in them. And all these psychics that I've had in my life, they don't read the future. They can read the past because they talk to your mammal brain. That intelligent dog knows you stubbed your toe yesterday. Oh, go to the psychic or the card reader or the tarot or all of these different people, and a lot of astrologers, they've got to have contact with you on the phone or in person. Look, hold your hand. Say, well, what happened? Like yesterday you stubbed your toe. Oh my God, I did. That's that intelligent dog brain, see? You say, what's going to happen tomorrow? Oh, I'm going to have bacon for breakfast. No, that's the dog brain guessing. So they can't do the future. And it gives people like me a terrible problem because everybody thinks you got to be a glamorous Pisces, touchy-feely stuff. No, astrologers are Uranus, scientific people, engineers. More on that later. So here on Friday night, you get a chance to be Neptune, be the doctor priest. It can be a little phony, watch out. On Saturday morning, on the 29th, there's a nice sextile to Pluto. Discoveries happened, huh? Great. Good Saturday, moon's in Pisces. As you go into Sunday, on Sunday morning, here's a nice sextile to Mars. You can get out and do some chores here. That's a good thing. And you can get organized. This is all physical stuff, these planets, Mars and Saturn. Very physical, the cross of matter on top. So these guys are, they're good for doing work and for making plans and getting physical with the world. And for Sunday, especially all day Sunday until the afternoon, moon shifts into Aries. Then it's all about communication, transportation. Pay some attention to those kids Sunday night. It'll be well worth your while. Listen to what they say. Monday, the 1st of December, the moon's solidly in Aries, and you're going to start feeling a little zappy. But, that the harmony of that good moon. Well, anyway, here you feel like you're getting stuff done. You're proud of what you did on Sunday. Monday, you get up raring to go, only to find that in the afternoon, here's this square to Pluto in conjunction to Uranus. And the battery goes dead, and Pele coughs up an earthquake, and this is quakey time, and especially, well, I got more to tell you about that. At any rate, here, this is kind of a shocker, and don't expect Monday, middle of the day and the afternoon to go normally. Here's the moon going by the south node. Oh, we need help. This is about 10 o'clock Monday night, Hawaiian time. So, stuff happens here. Could be high winds. Could be shakings, things flying around. They say run from water, hide from wind. So Tuesday, the moon's still in Aries, and you're still going to be feeling a little of that emergency and stuff. But here's a nice trine to Jupiter. The wise men come out. Now I understand what's happening here. The thing is, it goes through to Tuesday night, and then the moon shifts into Taurus, and when it does, makes a nice. Here's a sextile to Neptune, and gosh, the priests and the doctors and the music and the faith and the telepathies feeling good feelings, huh? If you're on that path, Wednesday morning. This is early. This is before breakfast. Discovery happens in the afternoon with a trine to Pluto on Wednesday. So Taurus is kind of a nice place for the moon in the first half. The second half of Taurus, however, on Thursday, December 4th, has got that damn Jupiter-Saturn square again. And here's Jupiter. The lawyers say, I want more, I want more. And the liberals want to go do something and expand. And then the middle of the day, and then in the evening, Saturn. The moon opposes Saturn. It's cold. There's no money. The old guys held us up. There's laws, lines, and signs. Oh boy. So Saturn, don't be out Thursday night or you'll get caught and stuck. By 2 a.m. in the morning, there's a trine to Mars, and the heroes are out helping. But it's still confusing, and people don't know what's going on. The moon went into Gemini, and there's a square to that Neptune on the 5th in the morning. So here's problems with liquids. Here's confusions and delusions. And what did that doctor say? What was that drug? Here's the beauty. This is late Friday night, December 5th. This is like 1 or 2 in the morning. There's a sextile to Uranus. Now that's the full moon, and that full moon sextiles Uranus. So it gives Uranus power, huh? And we get a whole month following this early morning, the 6th, when astrology is going to make sense. Now there's problems. The sun's not in agreement, and Mercury isn't either, but this is time to go try the unusual stuff. Get something different, Be a rebel, huh? And there'll be rewards here Saturday night. There's a sextile to Jupiter. The lawyers and professors say, right on, man, use the science. Uranus is science. Okay? Neptune is art. So Uranus, the scientists are out. They don't care much for telepathy. And they're going to use common sense. Use your mind. That's what Uranus is about, the mind. Neptune's about the heart. So these more, you got to, modern astrology not up to it much. But anyway, Saturday, here's a sextile to Jupiter, Saturday night, and wise men are giving you the truth. On Sunday, December 7th, here we have in the middle of the day, in the afternoon actually, is a trine to Neptune. So people are out doing what? This is Pearl Harbor, flying the flags, oh boy, colorful flags. Neptune likes to get together in groups, flocks of little fish. Doctors do that in hospitals, priests do that in churches. Okay, people get together in a group at a football game, wear the same colors. These are all Neptune behaviors. Let's all get in the parade and go and celebrate the flag. Oh boy, give me a break. Anyway, they're in for some surprise here Monday morning, because there's the opposition to Pluto and the square to Uranus. And we could get more shakings, more wind, more panickiness, more Pele and earthquakes. Could be on the 8th. Yeah. Stuff's going on the Big Island too. Okay, let's pull back from that day-by-day perspective. Here's ephemeris are so nice, folks. For $20 you get 50 years or 100 years. And here's the little D in the Neptune column, and this that tells you Neptune is stopped and went direct. So I circled it here in the colors of wine, which is Neptune. This is the peak of drinking, confusion, religion, telepathy. You find your sense of smell is really strong. Now you're not too far off of that. If you're on the Thursday night show, you're right here. That happened just 10 days ago for you, so you're still in Neptune land. And as I recall, there's a quarter moon coming up on the 29th that has a lot of problems for liquids in Hawaii. There's going to be a lot of rain here. And you're sitting on the beginning of it, at least a week or 2 weeks of mucho rain that you're not going to like because of that new moon. Excuse me, it's not a new moon, it's a quarter moon. And in fact, this is a good example if the quarters and three-quarter moons have a lot of effect. Okay, here's the first quarter moon, and you see over here, here's Neptune opposing the rising, and the moon is on it. So here's all kinds of problems with liquids and smoke and bad smells, stuff like that, okay? Disruptive in the home situations too. So it starts on that date, November 29th, Saturday. And it's going to be strong for at least a week. We'll have to wait and see how far after the week it stretches. Yeah, here's the December 6th full moon. Now this is the one that concerns me because it's got a very strong signal for Hawaii and for our islands. And the signal comes from Uranus. Eek. So this is a signal that you really don't like Uranus. What's Uranus? High wind, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. And in our case, this Uranus is a signal that opening a 1 month window at least for disruptions here in the islands. And the square to Pluto, well, you know who Pluto is. That's Pele. Yeah. So we could also have some Pele action here. But most likely it's the quakes and the high winds. And this, yeah, it could be a hurricane. What the heck? Let's be honest. Now, when I look downstream of this, I don't see massive damage. But, having Pluto down here on the 4th house, here's your home, here's your nest. That's very disturbing. Yeah. The South Node is over here, conjunct Uranus. Hopefully this will be other people in some fashion. But this is a very tricky moon, and it could be important to us. And when you look at my ephemeris, there's a lot of possible times when we could be hit by quakes. And see, here's December now, okay? I tried to do this for you graphically. So here's Uranus station, 20 days on either side, it gets herky-jerky windy, 20 days on either side of Neptune, it gets liquids and you get lost and bad smells. So you're going into this Uranus period, and December 6th right up here is where that full moon hit. So after this, you're in the zone, see? And there's rain going up, a lot of rain here. That sometimes makes for earthquakes and Pele. But, the peak of it, the shakiness, is right here on the 21st. And these little dots I've put in here tell me that other planets are lined up. So there's this little period right through here, that goes from the 15th basically through the 21st, 22nd. There's some more here from the moon. So there's really about a 2-week period from the 14th of December through the 27th when these shocking events can come to pass here in Hawaii. And there could be disruptions from these folks who are having trouble. And, earthquakes and volcanoes kind of go along together, don't they? Tricks of the trade I've found is you look downstream of an event period like that, December 6th, and to find out if there's some massive damage happening. So here's the 3/4 moon, December 14th, and we don't see a lot of concern for damage in the environment or in the home. December 21st, whoa, that's the new moon. Here's Saturn on the 7th house. Now Saturn crushes people. This could be earthquake kind of downstream stuff, okay? And here's Mars up at the top, emergency crews out, young men, trying to fix stuff. And their communication is good, it sextiles Uranus. But this Saturn bothers me and tends to indicate, things falling down on folks more. So here's a 1/4 moon, December 28th, and things have mellowed out considerably here, at least in Hawaii. Here's a full moon, January 4th. And we got kids and pretty people coming in. And again, I don't see downstream damage. Okay, that's important. that says this is not a huge event. Okay, I want to go back 2 months ago for you. You had an eclipse on Uranus, and the spaceships all crashed, and nobody went to the election. And, you know, doggone, these United Nations people, they went overnight, and they did a big thing to get this report out, which said, hey, we don't have any time left here. You got to do something now. If you try to do things downstream a little bit, it's going to get really expensive. And we've done 2,000 studies, 18,000 studies. They all tell us the same thing. And what is upsetting about this is that I see there's some guys now that want to burn wood chips on the Big Island to make power. And we have a mayor that wants to burn our trash. And what's this? It's just more of this stuff. These folks seem to think it's okay to ignore this. I grant you that election, it hurt this whole global warming and the environmental stuff more than anything. Putting all these Republicans into the House and the Senate. I mean, these guys, they don't want to listen to this stuff. No, you know, British Petroleum and Marathon, those guys don't want to hear that. Let's make money. Rip off all the oil and gas from everybody. Get the last little bit out, okay? And put it in the corporate hands. Excuse me. Excuse myself. I don't like Neptune. These are the doctors. These are the guys putting all the drug commercials on your TV. And then the lawyers come back, you know, because, man, what's happened anyway? They're running out of hand. So are the oil companies. Coal, oil, gas is Neptune. Hydrocarbons, just like the chemicals. What, you know, Monsanto is doing and Dow is doing. I mean, I was working for Dow. Then I had this epiphany. I was doing evil work and I had to quit. Uprooted everybody. Wow. So this Neptune is a tough one. And in my business, it has a lot to do with these special people who are trying to say I'm so very special, like the psychics who say, oh, I talk to angels and stuff. Now let me bring this down to earth a little bit more for you. Uranus is who I am. I'm a technician. I'm a scientist. I use my mind, okay? Astrology is Uranus, not Neptune. Okay, these are treatment people, but they have taken over astrology. They take over our country. I mean, we're not trying to get rid of the drug war. No, they spend all their time on gay people. Gay rights. Gay people are Neptune. They're like phony actors, okay? And the age of kings, the age of Pisces, 2,000 years we've had of this, and they're still in power. I'm special. I'm a doctor. I got my license to kill with pills. Here's Uranus, a scientist. And nobody's listening. What? Global warming, global warming. Well, we use our minds. Now, in my business, it's a big difference. And I'll tell you why. Because they've given astrology a bad name, all these folks. And when I just got through looking through the Mountain Astrologer. It's a great magazine. Used to be. What's going on here now? Well, Neptune stuff. Psychologists, you know, doctors, yoga teachers. You look through all the people in here, and they're all being very Neptune, huh? I'm special. I'm, and you know what they're doing is telepathy. You get a reading from any of these folks, and what they're doing is they're reading your mammal mind. They're going to tell you what you want to know and make you smile and feel good. It's touchy-feely astrology. You know what? These guys are so Neptuned out. I'm so special, you know. They're not doing real astrology. And you can tell the difference kind of easily. One, they have all these letters after their names. A lot of Vedic astrologers. Nobody knows about that. And they're glamour puss type people like doctors and priests. And, you know, who cares what your face looks like? And you got a fancy name. And you got all these letters. They got all these credentials, you know, like doctors. And, you know, it kind of makes me a little bit ill. Because they're ruining astrology. And these are not astrologers. I'll tell you why you can tell. When I do charts for people, I don't want them talking to me. I don't want to know what they're concerned. I don't want to know anything. because it takes contact to get telepathy going. Yeah, Monique had to talk to you on the phone to dig into your mammal mind. Oh yeah, you stubbed your toe yesterday. You're going to have bacon tomorrow. No, that just gets in my way. I read the chart. So I can read charts so well after 50 years of doing it that I don't need somebody telepathy interfering with it. In fact, it gets in the way. So I do charts without knowing anything about them. Double blinds. I don't need to know anything, just even your name or your sex or anything, really. And I do charts like that. You can order a chart from me for like $65 and give it to somebody who doesn't know a damn thing about it. You get their accurate birth time, you get a DVD and a chart, and I don't know them, and you're not going to tell me about them because I won't listen anyway. But if I got an accurate birth time, I'm on it. These other people that you see advertising can't do that. They have to do a personal reading. And that's why so many of you are used to, I'm going to go see the astrologer, like seeing the priest or the doctor. Those folks have to have you in the flesh. They have to have the contact, in order to use their telepathy. And then they're going to tell you what you want to hear. And like doctors and priests. No, I'm not that. I don't do treatment. I don't do touchy-feely stuff. I'm going to give you, but I'm really accurate. And when I went through this magazine, geez, I'm getting more and more depressed. And then it turns out they have this little thing they set up about how, here's a test chart to read, they said. I got to tell you, every article I read really kind of just didn't deliver. Here was the worst one, the gardening guide, all-inclusive, totally all to horticulture, astrology. The guy's totally phony. He winds up saying, just plant when you want to. But this little test they ran, before I got to it, I got to this, gay people, astrologers doing gay stuff, oh boy. I got interested in the chart challenge, so I checked it out. And then 2 people did it. Simone Butler, unbelievable stuff straight out of books, mislabeling everything. The other guy, though, was Bruce Schofield. And Bruce was right on, a real astrologer. Congratulations, Bruce. Solid stuff. So you want some chart work done? All I need is that technical data. Get me quick, because I get a rush at the end of the holidays. Give them for gifts. Come back next week. Aloha.